So I was looking at this Sherwood list, and like I was looking to see where do all my radios fall on the Sherwood list. For like, I guess what the test is for selectivity as far as like rejecting nearby interference and things like that. And this particular radio right here is ahead of some of the radios that are coming out even today. But so number one on the list is the 710 that I own at 107. The FTDX 3000 is at 82 for some reason. And this 901 right here is at 80. And then underneath that, the Zygu G90 is at 76. The 756 Pro is at 71. The FTDX 1200 is at 70. 891 is at 70. FT1 is at 63. The 101E is at 59. So in between that area of the like 901 and the 710, you have a few other radios like maybe 7300, 7610, but there's not too many actually. A couple of the flexes and stuff like that, and if you're into that kind of thing. But underneath it is a bunch of radios, a lot. Like Yaesu 2000s, 1000 MPs, 1000 Ds, 756 Pro 2, Pro 3, all of those radios. 746 is not on the list. I don't know where that one would be. It's a little bit newer than the Pro. All your, I think the Kenwood stuff, a lot of the Kenwood stuff, I think might even be under that. Definitely. There's not a lot of Kenwood on the list. I saw the 890 and the 990, but they were really kind of low on the list, actually. I don't remember where they were at. But I thought that was kind of interesting that this radio that came out in 1978 could be so damn high up on the list. Like, really high. And it kind of, does show when you operate this radio. I mean, like, you can really, really tell. So, this is just really a fun to operate radio. If you get a chance to buy one for like $500 or less, I would say jump on it. I did been poking around on eBay, just kind of seeing what completed listings are going for. Some ridiculous stuff. Like these are like $500-600. If you want a 902, which is I think in my opinion slightly better radio, it might not be as good as this because they used a different diode mixer, modulator ring. And Sherwood didn't test the 902. It's on the list. But the radio is like, probably $500-600 on eBay. So that's the completed listings. They're not easy to find. I saw one of these, $1,300. Somebody bought it from some place in Japan, and they paid $1,300 plus shipping for a FT1. And these are like probably one of the worst radios for reliability. Like, it's a cool radio, and it's really interesting when you check out all the stuff that's in it. And it looks really complicated when you open it up. And it is epoxy glass boards, and they all plug in this way. It's a neat radio, okay? But like, you don't see me using it, and there's a reason you don't see me using it, because it's not really all that fun to listen to. It sounds like crap. It's solid state. It does, an anemic 100 watts. Like, it'll do 100 watts on a carrier, but you're going to see more like about 50 watts on sideband. I don't know if that's peak, but it's definitely less than any of my other radios. Whereas this one here, you're going to see like about 150 watts on sideband on the lower bands, and then probably like 90 to 100 on 10 meters. But it sounds better. It's more mellow. I think in the defense, the FT1, the filters all go bad in it. And if you join the FT1 group on groups.io or whatever, you'll see post after post after post after post after post. Same thing. Filters. So, it's one of the radios that really never aged well. Like, radios that are older than that are in better shape. And so, I don't know why people would pay that kind of money for that radio. But it's only slightly above a FT101E. So, it didn't rate anything like the 101ZD, so I don't know where that one's at on the list. But anyway, these things, they really probably don't matter to most of us, you know, and even though this is like a really good radio, you're probably not going to contest with it, you know. You could if you wanted to. I mean, the thing is, we can buy all sorts of radios and do all sorts of stuff with them and make do with them, you know, and like I was telling my buddy, because he keeps buying these radios and returning and buying different ones, I'm like, you can just use any radio. It's not really going to matter. You know, if that was the only radio that you had to use, then you would use it, and it wouldn't be a big deal. You know, but we're humans, and we always want something better. So, and then some of us are hoarders. So anyway, well, they also didn't rate the 102, which I would guess would be somewhere around where the 1000 is. And strangely enough, this radio is above the 1000. So anyway, Friday night, raining, snowing off and on today. Interesting crap here. I have cleared out the entire deal just about here. There isn't any solid state radios out here. I don't have a single one. Well, that one on the corner, but I don't use it, so it doesn't count. I've got a 102 hiding down there. That's like my spare. And it's like a parts radio, but it's not a parts radio. You know, I mean, it works, but it's just like not really any reason to use it when it doesn't work as good as the other one. Sometimes it does weird stuff. But I got that one up there. The thing is, when a radio is like sitting on a shelf like this where I have them, I'm not able to really use them. So I'm not really sure if I can just pull everything and then like just rotate a radio once a night and just use a different radio and, you know, get on there. But I was trying to get this plasma ball thing to work. You know, it works when it wants to. And earlier, it's supposed to take AC, but I mean, I've powered it with DC. It'll do that. I had it where it was like working, and then it just like wouldn't do anything. It's got this thing here. It says audio on or off, and there's 3 positions. So I guess that must be audio, and then the middle position. There was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be able to play music, and it would like copy the music, you know. So I guess like, if it is possible, the kid took this thing apart, okay, and I attempted to repair it, and I've never been able to get it to work properly. And when it does work, you put your hand here on the thing, and you will feel your hand eventually get warm from the plasma ball. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I'm probably just gonna go put it in the garbage. It's got like some little deal here. Watch me get like the living hell shocked out of myself. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm sure you could probably buy these on Amazon or eBay. I'd love for it to just like be on all the time to the music or something, you know, but I can't get it to do it anymore. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good Friday. We're just kind of staying at home, and, you know, I got to get underneath the truck and figure out where I'm leaking out of the rear end. Because when I drove 6 hours to go get that other radio, when I got back home, I could see that there was crap coming out of probably the pinion seal on the rear end on the F350. So I have the other truck, and then I have the car, and then like if I want to drive the Tahoe, I can drive that, but I need to get my truck fixed. So it's leaking everywhere. It's, you know, it's 7,000 miles on it. We don't know if the motor's been replaced or anything like that. I got it with like 300,000. So anyway, I need to do that before I really go anywhere or do anything, because for all I know, the rear end could be like completely empty. You know, there might not be anything in it. So It's raining, so I don't want to deal with it, but I'm waiting until it dries out, then I'm gonna get underneath it and see if I can get the fill plug to crack loose. And I think if I remember correctly, when I was working at the shop, I had the truck on the lift and I couldn't get the drain plug to crack open, so I said to hell with it. And I know that my other truck, I've definitely checked it and found, that it was low. So it's always a good idea to check those kind of things. So they're just not going anywhere until I get a chance to do that. So we'll get on here, screw on some radios. I think I'm gonna. I finally found a screw that would fit. I lost one of the screws, so I got the cover back on it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing cover back on that, and maybe see if I can pick up the London, Ontario FM repeater, because this is like such a cool radio. It's like the form factor of a 101 with FM, And then you take your memory here, and then you can use that as your TX RX split, and you can work FM repeaters on 10 meters with tubes. How cool is that? So we'll catch you guys later, and we'll maybe have a video on the repeater if it's open.